You can't really tell here at home, but Iran is in a place where I've never seen it in the modern era. Hundreds, if not thousands, of freedom fighters, really, are being pulled off the streets. There are reports of that many being killed, 10,000 arrested, which is different with this regime, right? Being arrested is like being disappeared in a lot of the cases. Now, just hours ago, the U.S. State Department issued a dire warning to all American citizens in Iran. Get out. If you can't, hunker down. Why? Here's what the president had to say yesterday when asked about Iran's threat to attack our military and commercial bases if they get hit first.
If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it. I have options that are so strong. So, I mean, if they did that, it'll be met with a very, very powerful force.
Well, retaliation is one thing. Initiating it is something else, should the United States be in that position. I asked my friend, Patrick Bet-David, host of the PBD podcast, to come on tonight. Pat and his family fled Iran in the 80s. They lived in a refugee camp. He's got an amazing personal story. Then he has now risen to such heights, but he understands and cares about this issue. No one better to talk to. Patrick, Happy New Year. I love you. It is good to see you, and thank you for the gift of your insight here.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you and the family as well. Great to be on with you.
So when people are looking at this issue, the first wave away is, oh, enough. Let them over there deal with it. It doesn't matter to us here. Let's stay home. What do you say?
Well, 9/11 is what they were doing. So if you think about back in the days, you have two examples. Let's do the debate of interventionist and non-interventionist. I think it's very important to just talk about that right off the bat because people have different positions in these areas. And my opinion is 95% of the time, don't intervene. Leave it alone. It doesn't benefit us. Just let people handle their issues. The 5% we have to entertain. And why do we need to entertain? Many, many years ago, Mossadegh is one that Iranians had. This was the leader that won, and he was going to nationalize the oil, and it was going to be similar to Venezuela. And Iran was on track to be Venezuela, what it is right now, under Maduro prior to him being taken down. Well, guess what happens? United States, UK intervene, and they get rid of Mossadegh, and they let him live in a small little village, and they bring this 21-year-old king, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. He becomes the king of Iran. He learns how to do deals. He ends up taking the oil away from everybody else, saying, wait a minute, all these contracts UK had written, Britain had written, we're not doing this. This is our oil. We'll do deals with you. And Iran opened up, and they started doing business with many people around the world. And guess what? There was no war in the Middle East. Middle East was fairly peaceful. You can kind of measure the time he was there for 37 years. Less than 100,000 people got killed during that 37-year period due to war. Some say 35, some say 100,000. But the Middle East, for the most part, was peaceful. Iran and Israel got along. Iran and these different countries got along. So he did a very good job for women. Prior to him, you know, women could get married at 9 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old with 52-year-olds. He cleaned house, none of this, you know, stuff that was taking place. And Frank Sinatra would go to a concert there in 1975 doing his thing. You know, Zahedi, who was the ambassador, was dating Elizabeth Taylor, so she would go back and forth. So the Iranian, it was like the original Dubai. Before there was Dubai, there was Iran. You would go to Iran, the rich people would go to Iran, just like today when somebody goes to Dubai, you say this person's rich. Then in 1977, December 31st, this president, very nice man, very sweet man, very good man, Jimmy Carter, goes and has dinner and does a toast with the Shah on December 31st of 1977. We've seen all the videos, and he gets up and he says, Iran is an island of stability. It's a great nation, and the Reza Shah Pahlavi is a great ally to us. Boom. The moment he leaves, Kissinger promised the Shah will take care of you and nothing's going to happen. Riots start, protesting starts, and then there's an event that happens at a theater in Iran in Abadan. Abadan is an island. It's like all these oil refineries are there. Cinema wrecks fire. The fire takes place. 400 people are locked in this movie theater, pregnant women. They burn to death at this place. Cinema wrecks fire. Cinema is like a theater. Rex Theater. 400 people get killed. The police is right across the street. Khomeini's camp goes out there, starts screaming off the top of their lungs that this happened because of Savak and the Shah's people. The Iranian people revolt. It was a great moment of crisis that Khomeini and his Hezbollah and the IRGC camp used. Next thing you know, 3 months later, he falls. By the way, I was born the month that Cinema Rex fire happened in Iran. I'm born and raised in Tehran, Iran. 3 months later, they get Shah to leave. Khomeini comes in. A month after Khomeini comes in, they say the fire at Cinema Rex, we did it, not Savak, but it was too late. Fast forward to 47 years later, U.S. decides not to intervene under Carter. Kissinger and Carter didn't help the Shah. What happens to Iran? You got 47 years of chaos in the Middle East due to Iran. So this whole concept of intervene, non-intervene, sometimes it comes back and bite us in the butt. I'll say this last thing, 20 seconds, and I'll turn it back over to you, is the 3,000 political prisoners that the Shah had in his prison, that Jimmy Carter was campaigning on human rights. Remember, he tried to get two countries to change their human rights. One of them was Cuba, which we know what happened with Cuba. Muriel Boatlift, here's 125,000 prisoners I'll send to Miami. Unemployment goes to 50%. And the other guy he targeted was who? The Shah of Iran. He's an evil dictator. He's a horrible human being. He's this. The 3,000 political prisoners are the people that got out and did 9/11 to America, where those 3,600 Americans would have still been around today if the Shah wouldn't have been kicked out and if we would have intervened. So this whole thing, we can go around and bring it back to 9/11. I'll pause. I'm sure you got follow-up questions.
No, the only thing I want to know, Patrick, thank you for the primer for people. I appreciate it, and I know it's personal for you as well. Now, Patrick's family is ethnically Assyrian, okay? And he's Christian, but he understands all of these dynamics. The hot question for right now is this, Pat. Military action, yes or no? Do you think the president, I mean, he should go to Congress, but do you think a case should be made that the U.S. striking first could be righteous?
This is my opinion here I'm sharing with you, so some people are not going to agree with it. This is I think if we're going to do the Monroe Doctrine, what is the Monroe Doctrine? The Monroe Doctrine. The Western Hemisphere is our problem. China, stay out of the way. Venezuela's not your problem. This is our oil. Hey, Iran, stay out of the way. Hey, Russia, this is not your problem. This is the Western Hemisphere. We run the show here. We take care of the Western Hemisphere. You guys deal with it. If I'm thinking strategically, who cares the most about the current regime IRGC fallen? Who is positively impacted by it the most? It's the people who live in that region. So who are those people? They should get involved and choose to do something about it. Maybe there will be some support from America, similar to the way we went and shot down the nuclear sites, because we have certain equipment and equipment that we can help you assist that maybe Israel and other countries in the Middle East don't have. I think it's a collaborative effort for us to send boots on the ground and send our 18, 19-year-old kids here that are other people's kids and go, I'm not a part of that. I don't think that's the strategy.
Patrick, thank you very much. A lot of food for thought for the audience. I appreciate you. I'm always a call away. Thank you for answering my call.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.